Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to the new racer from Eachine. This is a new revision of the Falcon. This is a 210, so after the 180mm and the former 250, here is a new one. So they fix a lot of things in the design. Let's discover the contents of the bundle. So here is a new version of the Blade 210. So as its number is meaning, it's a 210mm of quadcopter in diagonal distance between motors. So now compared to the former edition, at least the 180, everything comes in carbon. So no more, for example, fiberglass in the bottom part. Everything is in carbon. Okay. So for example, the main arm are 3mm, so pretty strong. ESC are attached on top. Camera mount are 150, and all the other elements are 150. Let's make a conductivity test to prove that it's real carbon. No problem, carbon. Carbon, everything in carbon. That's pretty cool. So a lot of things have changed. No more tall standoff, very easy to break. You have two types of landing gears now. This carbon element, or if you prefer, you can tape this rubber element instead. I will probably prefer this option. In the front, you have a 700 TVL camera, exactly the same than the former model. Hidden behind this carbon element, you have a tiny button to turn on in paid or in NTSC. Be aware, you have an OSD system on it and it's set to pair. It means that if you change the camera to NTSC, the OSD information location can be biased. Out of the box, you have this system with a fixed angle of approximately 25 degrees. You have another position, but it's just moving back rear the camera without changing the angle. If you want, you can install this system to allow you to tilt by your own choice of angle your camera. I will show how to install. Install on top and most of protected by the camera plate. For install, for example, a Runcam HD or Mobius, you have the strap welcoming the 3S 1500 mAh with a discharge rate of 25C. This battery weighs standalone, it's a classic battery, weight 110 grams. Okay, so for example, this quadcopter standalone, if I can install it like this, have to find a support to install it. The quadcopter standalone and the FPV antenna reach already 361. Let's add the weight of the props, okay, and the weight of the battery. You reach a total weight of 486, a little bit less for the plastic, so close to 500 grams. It's a little bit heavy for 210 millimeters. Motors are installed on 10 degrees inclined support, so if you are not an aggressive flyer or pure expert racer, you can remove them and stand more horizontally. Motors are 22 type 04, announced to be 2300 kV. And start over here, you have the video transmitter part. A tiny button is here to select one of the frequency inside the band, and if you long press on it, you can select one of the 5 band. By default, you are set on the raised band. You have an RP-ACMA connector, and well, you have to attach the antenna. Be sure to check that before to plug the first time the LiPo. Antenna are installed like this on rear side. They are absolutely not optimized, so they must be installed in a better way to enjoy full range. Let's check the bottom side. You have a 4-position dip switch. They are mainly used to control the light. For example, 5 for the front, the third position to the lights on the arms, the second to control on and off the light rear, and the one is a general switch to turn off everything, all the light, but as well also the receiver and the OSD information. So if you don't manage to bind your quadcopter, check the one button, maybe is set to half. Okay, the transmitter, it's a classic FlySky model, okay, branded by Eachine, and you can't enter into the setup by default. You have to apply the classic trick with the FlySky transmitter. Be sure that all elements are up, throttle down, and press inner the horizontal trim before to turn on the radio. Then you can press long time OK to enter in the menu. Okay, we will see later how to configure, for example, some element. You have some props, okay, they are exactly 4-inch model, cut it, burnout 45, okay, one bag of spare one, so you can install 2 red front, 2 black rear. You have a bind plug to your FlySky receiver, and finally a charger working header and 2S and 3S, a basic one. So now we will check a little bit about the ESC. Each of them are installed on each arm, zip tied and secure by zip tie. That's cool. Okay, so let's little bit power and check the default clean flight configuration. But before that, I want to show the default behavior of, for example, the fail-safe. Be sure that the antenna is plugged. Okay, I will install the battery. Props are off. It's very important. Okay, I will turn on the battery. Look the light. Red rear, blue front. Turn on the radio. It's pre-bound. To harm the quadcopter, you have to push. Okay, and then push throttle. No motor idling. It can be dangerous, so we have to change this option in clean flight. Okay, let's check the fail-safe behavior. And after a couple of seconds, motors continue to spin. Okay. And after it stopped by itself, so there is a strange action. Let's try to retake the control. No, we cannot. Okay, default. So the phase-safe behavior is more or less working, can be a little bit optimized. You can see the video frequency as well as the selected band by 2 red LEDs. Let's turn off the battery. Let's check the default configuration of the transmitter. Press inner the throttle, trim. Okay, now we'll be able to go to the menu. Let's go to the setup system and RX setup. Look at the phase-safe. No phase-safe done. Okay, we have to change that. Let's go to the setup now. Display. Okay, and actually no switch are associated with channel 5 and 6. It's the port. It's not a good choice. We have to assign more the flight mode to this switch. It have to be changed out of the box. Okay. Let's go to the as it's confirmed that the channel 5 and channel 6 are associated with the port. Let's check the dual rate. Okay, it's associated with this switch and no specific rate associated, no dual rate can be set to for beginners, for example. Okay. No social hold associated and the value is set to 50. Can be also associated with this switch in case of emergency of crash. So a lot of work to do on the radio. Let's configure a little bit the transmitter. Okay, so turn on again in setup mode and let's check the phase-safe. Go to RX setup, press OK. Go to phase-safe. Throttle is associated with channel 3. Press OK here and press down to turn on. Then long press and cancel to validate. You can hear this treble beep. Okay, it was set to -70%. I will renew it to 100%. Okay. Now 99% is okay. Cancel. Go to the setup now. We will attribute on the different source. So channel 5, okay, will be more associated with switch C because this is a unique 3-way switch. So we want to, for example, fly and stabilize, attitude and acro. So we will associate this switch more to the channel 5 instead to the port 1 here, A. So let's go. Okay, press down. Okay, switch C by press up and validate. Okay, now it's done. This channel 6 will be the switch B. Like this, press long press cancel to validate. Now it's done. Let's go to the dual rate. The dual rate will be associated with this switch A. Let's say that the two first channel, Aeron and elevator, can be affected by the dual rate, and let's say that we want only 70% for these two first channel. So channel 1 is selected, go down, press OK to go to the rate, and go down to 70%. Long press cancel is done. Press OK, and we will press up to go to channel 2. Okay, now press OK to go down and press down to one more time, select 70%. Long press cancel to validate. Okay, let's check that, look that. Dual rate on the two first channel, let's check that. Channel 2. For channel 4, the whatever the rate and stay at full ER rate. That's great. Everything is configured. Okay, so and everything, because I was not able to have any video link. So for example, when I turn on the FPV monitors and power all the system, no signal appearing, I'm on the right frequency, etc. So I found the problem, and it's linked with the OSD module. Actually, it's a made link with a reference B3. So this module is here. So it's strange because you have, for example, on the left side a 12 volt input coming from directly from the LiPo battery, and on the right side the Atmega chip is working in 5 volts. It's not that such kind of chip is not working well with a mixture of voltage, and I can show that it's already coming from the OSD module. For example, I will link directly the V-in with the V-out, so by bypassing the OSD information. So I just install shortcut the V-in with the V-out. So I've got a direct link, and you will see that it's working fine now, but of course without any FPV information. So unfortunately I received a faulty module. So as you can see now, I've got the image, the video. Unfortunately, even if sounds too worse, but I suspect the max video chip damage. So the one who had overlaid the extra information, not the Atmega part, but more the max video chip. Okay, so I will reassemble everything, and I will perform a demo flight and testing without the OSD information. It's a big negative point, because one of the main features of this Falcon 210 is the presence of OSD information. So since I have to perform the testing, unfortunately I have to do without. But don't worry, I asked to other reviewers, and the OSD is working for them. It's just a question of bad luck. So here is the way to install the second cameraman. So first of all, you will need to pick up this one. Okay, yeah, you have to be installed in front, and among the three O-rings, takes the smallest one, because you have to install it on the like this, on the lens thread like this. Okay, then you will have to install with your slop positive like this. Okay, then you will have to insert it like this. So I strongly advise to start to pre-insert with the longest screws here. Okay, just then try to insert in the middle the camera. Like this, start to spin. You will need a M.1 okay, start to use the Allen key, and then when it starts to be inserted, use the small nuts, insert it with your finger. Try to. If you can't, because it means that the screws is already too inserted. So like this, and then you will be able to fasten like this. So just need, when you will be close to, install it horizontally, more or less, and continue to fasten the system. Okay. Be aware to not fasten too much and to move left and right. You can unfocus the lens after. Okay, so be aware of that. Don't tie too much. Should be okay now. Then you will have to insert in front like this. You have two other all behind the actual installed screws for the front LEDs. So the trick is to use the two other screws, okay, and screw them by the rear side. Start to insert them, okay, gently, and the second one. Okay. And voila. So it's fastened, and be aware you have the wires block a little bit the positive, but now as you can see the maximum angle is much more pronounced versus the first. Don't forget to reinstall your camera plug, okay? When the FPV mount have been installed, you can install also a clean plate camera mount for your favorite Mobius or Cam HD. So just insert the dampening ball, okay, you have to insert 4 of them and install here, okay, on top, and it should eliminate some extra vibration for your Mobius. Okay, here is the installation of the upper plate with the dampening ball. One remark observed, when you will want to connect to a clean flight, be aware because not all USB cable can be plugged. You can see that it's partially blocked by the upper part. That's a really drawback. So definitively you will need some very thin micro USB cable to be able to connect to a clean flight. Okay, so we measure now the emitted power by the video transmitter. So I installed the immersion energy power meter, set of course on faded gears then, and when I powered, I can measure then more than 340 milliwatts. So after the cold start, so I guess within a couple of seconds it will decrease to 300 milliwatts. So it's not bad at all. So it's coherent and with the enhanced emitted power. That's good. So welcome to the part dedicated to the clean flight configurations. So I will show first the default clean flight settings. And as I said previously, you really need a micro USB cable with a thin plug, because if you have a larger one, you won't be able to plug it correctly. So first of all, plug your micro USB into the micro USB port. Eventually try to gently slide it beneath below the upper plate. Then when it's done, you can plug actually without props and without the battery attached and turn on. So if you are correctly set your clean flight and install it correctly with the correct driver here, you should see a COM port visible appearing here. So now just need to connect. Okay, and the first thing what you will do is to back up your current default setting of clean flight associated with your Falcon 210. So press back up. Okay, and after a couple of seconds, you should save in your associated folder the actual clean flight settings. So I already saved it, but be sure to do it. And in case of, I don't know, wrong configuration, you can always restore it by pressing this button and reloading the default settings. So we will check immediately the version of clean flight installed. So, and you can see we have almost the last available version, the 1.12. Actually, this is the 1.13. Of course, if you prefer to install Betaflight, it's another option. Maybe I will do a video associated with. So let's check the default configurations. So we have 0 accelerators, no compass or barometers or GPS. We have some memory to save your flash data logs. That's a good point eventually to optimize your PAD settings. Let's check the ports now. 3 we are port associated with the SP Racing S3. Okay, so it's up to you, and you can use one to, for example, install your ASBUS receiver if you are not satisfied or prefer to fly with I don't know, a PSK receiver with ASBUS interface. Configuration. So as we show already, we can understand the motor stop option is enabled. So in terms of safety, I not really agree with this option turn on, because you don't know, and if you press the throttle by accident, it can be very dangerous. So I will also make my proposed modification by turning off this option. OneShot 125 is turned off by default. I don't know if it's working or not, but let's continue to check the basic settings. And be aware with the SP Racing F3 board, the flame control board is flipped up 90 degrees as I show in the disassembling part. So when you have the NA32 is not the case, is not rotated. So it's dependent of your choice of flame control board. But by the way, the receiver is installed in PWM. Be aware again, I show in my disassembling only the 5 first channel installed, no channel 6. It means that only one switch can be used. I will show that how to use this switch C instead of the port actually here. Okay, so don't be afraid if you can see only one aux and the aux2 is not visible, it's normal. Is not fired on the receiver. Okay, the monitoring the V battery, okay, for the OSD information. And I said, unfortunately, mine came with a broken Navlink version B3, which is the actual OSD installed. So it means that you can flash it thanks to a FDDI device if you want to change some element on your OSD information. It's very easy to do. Let's continue. The loop time is set to 3,500. It's so low, high value. So you can tune it, you can decrease its value to probably 1000 to enjoy more responsive machines. But in the consequence, you will have to also modify the PID settings. Okay, everything is working together. The black box, okay, associated with the data flash is turned on. No LED strip, no telemetry information. The face safe is turned on stage 2 and set to land. So this is the default settings, and here is a minimum pulse value. Okay, actually the PID settings are there. So the PID controller is multi-wheel, and here is classic values. I'm a little bit surprised by the level strength, very high value, and a little bit surprised also by the all the 3-axis rates, very slow. So if you want a more aggressive to more acrobatic, you will have at least to change this value and probably decrease this level strength if you meet some oscillation. Okay, the receiver, it will be a problematic. We return to the receiver in a couple of seconds, so as well as the flight mode. But actually, on the flight mode, you can see any flight mode set. It means by default you are in acro, whatever the switch you are. So it's not for beginner out of the box. How it's possible? So the flight mode must be done. Okay, it's very important. It's almost inflatable out of the box for beginner, only for expert. Adjustment is done. Servo motors, we will calibrate the ASC, but first check if the one-shot 125 is working or not. Okay, the LED strip seems to be not working, and we already saw the version of a clean flight. Okay, so now I will show a kind of problem with your actual board. So let's return to the receiver. Okay, so to see the stick movement, if I turn on the radio like this, I won't see it because the receiver is not powered with the USB only. So you will need to power the with the battery. Be sure to have your antenna attached. It's very important. Let's turn on the battery. Okay, it's bound, and after a couple of seconds, great. You can see the stick movement very slow, but it's working. As I said previously, and since we done the switch inversion versus the port in the transmitter, now you can see that the aux1 is working with the switch C. That's great. And unfortunately, since there is no wiring on the aux2 and channel 6, any other was taking this one is not working. Okay, you can arm, it's not a problem. Motor and disarm. Okay, but if it's working like this, if I want to enter into mode, you will see that the clean flight is stalled on this, waiting for data. Why? Because the OSD is here, and I think there is a problem with the UART sharing the receiver and the OSD. So no possibility to set the flight mode with the battery attached. How to proceed? First of all, you will have to remove the battery. Okay. Then after you can access to the flight mode. But you don't know which are the range of the switch C value. Okay. So what we will do, we will return to the receiver. Replug the battery, okay, and then we will notice the value of the aux1. So for example, when it's in upper position, the switch C1 is close to 1000. Let's write it. When it's on the second position, we are in 1500, and when we are in the third position, we are close to 2000. Okay, so 1000, 1500, and 2000. Let's unplug the quadcopter. Okay, turn off the radio. We will now return to mode, and we will, for example, have the range. Okay, so we will focus more between just before 1000. 500 like this, and we will save it. Okay. Then we will add an horizon mode. Let's send between 1500 and 2000 like this, a little bit less, like this. Okay. Then we should have in the switch C1 the angle mode, so the more 6-axis stabilized. In the middle, the horizon, so more latitude. And when we are done, we are in acro by default. We can add, for example, the hair plus if it's available. So let's check that. No hair plus available. It seems to have a beeper, but we don't have any extra channel to use it. That's a problem. So we will have only acro, the 3 flight mode. Okay, let's save everything. Okay, and then now we won't be able to see the result, because as soon as I will turn on the battery, this panel should be stalled. I will check whatever. Okay, so we will see that. Okay, the light seems to work. Okay, it's not exactly the right, so I have to let it save like this. So I'm still in angle, so I have to decrease this value. So it seems to work like this. So we'll save it. No reason. Where I am, we can see the stick. Okay, I don't know why it's not working, but it should. I tried it through horizon, as you can see. So I have to maybe increase the value here. Okay, let's save that. I'm not, so just a question of to take into account here like this, and it should be possible. Okay, so I will tune that, but you can see how to proceed, and it seems to work. So what you have to do is first to enter into the flight mode panel, then you can turn on the battery. Okay, that's great. So it will be a default configuration of the clean flight. Okay, and we will start now to modify the settings to have a more adapted. Then probably I will update and flash the last version of clean flight. Okay, so now we will make some changing in the default configuration. Okay, so I will reconnect to the first plug the USB will be better. Reconnect to the clean flight configurations. So in configuration, I will start motor stop. Okay, to be sure that everything is okay. Save and reboot. So now we will have a minimum throttle. So eventually you can decrease this value if this one is too high. Probably set to 1100. Okay, like this. Maybe the maximum throttle can be also lowered maximized, because maybe you can have a better and more powerful response. So what to do? We will probably also change the loop time to 1000. Okay, that's very important. Saving reboot. Okay. So I want to make a try if it's possible to use the one-shot 125. So I will turn on this one. I'm not sure if it works. Okay. And then I will turn on the quadcopter and try if it's working. Let's try to hum. It seems to work. Okay. So good news, it's working. So we turn off the batteries, and let's check also now the face-safe behavior. So click on drop, because we want that the quadcopter fall into the ground as soon as possible. Okay, so we will check that now the face-safe is working. Okay, in terms of the AD settings, I strongly advise more to use a stronger rate settings for all the 3 axes. Okay, like this, and probably decrease this value. 11 strength is probably too much. Set to 2 and save it. Okay. These other settings could be adjusted, but in the first glance, seems to be not bad. We already set the mode. Okay, if it's working, so we will try to do it like this, more or less around like this, and save it. Save. Okay, you see if it's working. Yes. And in GPS, let's check the motors now. We will calibrate them, it's very important. So how to press it? You have to check here this button. Be sure to have the half push maximum value on master. Turn on the battery and wait the end of the USC music. Okay, like this. And okay, now it's calibrated. Okay, let's check that. Okay, so we will rearm like this, and actually this is still the same version. Okay, so we will try to arm the quadcopter. Okay, we will over TSC. Okay, arm the quad. Sounds good. Okay, that's pretty good. And we will try the behavior of the stay safe. Turn up. Sounds good. Okay, not immediately, but that's good. Let's try if we can rearm. No, we cannot rearm. Ah, yes, we can rearm. That's good news. Okay, so definitively better than the original settings. That's good. Okay, so now in Clean Flight, the modification of the basic option and basic PID settings, well, I would say the rate have been done, and I will also propose probably to update to Clean Flight 1.13. I would prefer a basic demo flight, but I want to show if it's possible also to see the current firmware values through BLA suite, if eventually they can be upgraded. So let's check if the ESC can be seen through their BLA suite, through their Clean Flight bridge bootloader. So select the E option here, okay, and select the right COM port associated with. Let's try to connect, first of all without the battery. There is a connection, but actually nothing is seen, but as soon as I will turn on the battery, okay, and click on check, seems that nothing has been seen, so no real BLA suite firmware, at least a newer firmware could be upgraded through BLA suite directly. So maybe there are some, but quite old and need to a sticker to flash them directly. Okay. First, however, hearing a demo flight of the new Eachine Falcon 210. So as you already know, since my OSD module is broken, I bypass directly it by connecting the vein with the way out, and unfortunately will introduce a little bit some extra noise in the FPV signal. So don't be afraid in the recording if you don't find the video FPV signal super clean. So I will just make a basic hovering demo, flying mostly in angle mode, so thanks to the Clean Flight configuration. But be aware, out of the box, this quadcopter only have acro turned on, so no stabilized mode for beginners. So be sure to do the Clean Flight modification as I show. Let's go. Okay, I will record, turn everything, all the light on, and I will turn my goggles recording here. Okay, it's recording. Okay, and let's take off. Okay, so since you have some tilt motors, this machine is moving forward automatically, it's normal. With the 4S 4-inch props, this machine is not amazing powerful. It's a little bit underpowered, but thanks you can install some 5-inch props, it will deserve that. Default PID settings are not bad. Okay, let's turn the dual rate I set to the transmitter as I showed. Now the setting has much more. Okay, I really regret that the my OSD module is not showing anything, so just plug and play to replace it, but I won't be able to show you the what are the information display. Now, lack of power in 4-inch is not zero, but could be faster. To fly acro with this machine, be aware with the 4-inch props you can lose a lot of altitude. Okay, the LEDs are visible, not bad. It's not super ultra stable. There is some little oscillation, wobbles in the stabilization. So PID setting could be a little bit more adjusted, and by default you have to adjust them more in acro than when acro is done. In general, 6-axis stabilization is also working efficiently. No, the pump are not good, not really amazing. Okay, yes, I'm not impressed at all. Okay, I will land now. Disarm and turn off the Google recording. Let's make a first conclusion about the new Eachine Falcon 210. Well, what are the positive points? First of all, the general 3K carbon structure have been redesigned, and positively everything sounds and seems pretty solid with 3 mirrors, arms. That's cool, and everything now is in carbon. Definitively no more weak. For example, rear LEDs bars, now it's well protected. The LEDs also are visible, so it's nice. Well, really I like it. I like also the 2 system of camera mount with the 700 TVL cam. So the new one allow something like 35-40 degrees. Okay, not so much more because the rear part of the camera is blocked by the ESC wire, etc. You can install a Mobius cam on top. The 210 come with 4-inch props, but you can install probably some 5-inch one. Okay, and in fact this machine out of the box got some problem. I will say that, and I will email to Banggood specifically. The transmitter and in clean flight are not correctly set. Well, it means that this machine only have the acro mode, don't offer for beginners the stabilized mode. And in terms of transmitter, the face-shape is okay, correctly done, but the flight mode is associated with the port, is completely stupid. So they should change that out of the box and the factory settings. It's just a question of software, so it doesn't cost for them a lot of money. What I like also, it's including no SD information. Unfortunately mine is not working, but it should be good, and it's a Maglink one, so you can change your parameter if you want. I regret the absence of a built-in battery. On the SP Racing F3 World of the NAS you can install one very easily, but a small battery out of the box is good. And what I regret, they forgot to install the channel 6 wire on the PWM receiver. It's a drawback because with the built-in battery we can actionate it thanks to this two-way switch, for example. The video transmitter is powerful, more than 350 milliwatts, so that's good. I really like the light and the possibility that you can turn off them individually. That's cool. Well, the landing gears in carbon should not survive a long time, but you can install this motor pad foam, rubber foam business. It would be maybe more easier and more comfortable to fly. So in terms of power, as I said, in 4-inch 3S configuration, I don't find this machine super sporty, and you got some 20 ampere ESC, so they support 4S battery without problem. And I think you can install some 5-inch in 4S LiPo, and this machine should be a completely different, at least in terms of sporty behavior, and should be much more beastie. Okay, so expect some 4S test as soon as possible. So a lot of positive points versus the Eachine Formula 180 is much more stronger and solid in terms of structure. The camera mount is good, etc. So just basic software and settings problem to fix easily. You can fix it thanks to my video, but I hope Eachine will solve that in the next batch of the Falcon 210. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please send it. And if you have any question, please type in the description or in the aircircuit.drumagnet.com thread, associated thread. And if you like my channel in general, please subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.